It's the last event of the FLW Eastern Series, and over 100 tournament anglers want to make it to the final day for one final chance at big money.
He's getting knocked out right here.
At 15 pounds, 9 ounces, puts him in second place. Wesley Strader with 41.3.
Will Tour Pro Wesley Strader make the right moves on his home lake to win in the end?
Look at that son of a gun. Look how fat he is.
It's come down to one final event in the FLW Eastern Series, and now over 100 of the best anglers in America are competing for a shot at the top prize of over $40,000, while also collecting valuable points in their quest to qualify for the 2011 Forest Wood Cup. The playing field for this event is Lake Chickamauga, just outside Chattanooga, Tennessee. And while the fall pattern has yet to kick in, with most bass spread all over the lake, the top sticks have still managed to bring in the big bass. Hi everyone, I'm Jason Harper, and welcome to the final stop of the Eastern Series. So much is on the line for our anglers here at this final event of the year. Will Mark Rose continue to dominate on another Tennessee River impoundment? Will JT Kinney overtake points leader John Cox for Angler of the Year? And who will lock down their spot for the crown jewel of bass fishing, the 2011 Forest Wood Cup? So many questions, and the only way to get those answers is to start with the tournament at hand. Many of our pros have very little experience here on Lake Chickamauga. So many of the other lakes along the Tennessee Valley have seen a lot more tour action. So how are the anglers adapting? Well, not surprisingly, tour veterans like Andy Montgomery and Tom Mann Jr. have landed near the top of the leaderboard every single day.
Today I'm going to start in the grass again. It's supposed to be real high blue skies. That's good for me because hopefully I can get a couple in the grass and then go out on my drops. The sun is what I need to put those fish where they're really holding in that cover. So I'm looking to have a pretty good day.
I'm still looking for that, 5 pound plus bite flipping. And it's a good way to catch a big one. There's a lot of big fish caught flipping mats. So maybe I'll get the old big boy today and hopefully get 4 more to go with him.
It's no surprise that the man everyone is chasing is Mark Rose. His knowledge of ledge fishing is unsurpassed, and as tough as this lake is fishing, he's going to be hard to catch. Although fourth place Scott Suggs is pretty good with a crankbait and thinks he's got a shot at the lead.
I'm fishing ledges and I'm throwing a crankbait some and fishing on the bottom some, dragging and stuff. And after that, I'm leaving and going shallow, and I'm throwing a frog and a B2 crankbait, and that's my main arsenal right there. And like I said, it's got me to where I'm at right now, and I'm gonna stick with it, try it one more day for sure.
Located near Chattanooga, Tennessee, and part of the fabled Tennessee River impoundments that include Kentucky Lake and Lake Guntersville, Lake Chickamauga has seen the bass population explode with the growth of fresh grass beds. Anglers are taking off from Chester Frost Park in search of 5 quality bites.
I feel like if I caught 13 today, I'd make the cut. Keep it in your hand, keep it wet, just cover a lot of water. I got 3 or 4 little key stretches that I'm going back and forth on, and hopefully it'll pan out. I mean, I'd like to do what I done yesterday, but this is fishing, you never know what's gonna happen.
The crowd of anglers prepare to take off and make the most of one final day on the water.
Tournament fishing, most of it's all about decision because, when you get to this level, like probably the top 50 guys, we're all on the same skill level as far as casting. It just comes down to decisions. And this was a huge decision for me, leaving a place where, I was in second place in the tournament and led day 1 and going fishing somewhere totally different. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I bet I didn't go back to sleep till 4 o'clock just thinking about whether I should do it or not. If I can catch 2 keepers out of this little creek, I think I can flip the rest of the day and catch 3 more. But if I catch, 10 or 11 pounds, that puts them guys having to catch 13 or 14, and there's not been a whole lot of, 13, 14 pound bags weighed in this week. I actually seen him waking to get it. That's the keeper. Hey on there, baby. All right. There's two. I seen the weight coming, like a redfish. Number two.
I'm just throwing a shaky head. I couldn't, just throwing it up there on the shelf and pulling it off. There's wash, logs, brush, all kinds of stuff washed up against the end of this thing. I'm just kind of fishing through it.
Scott Suggs knows that understanding the river bottom is key to producing bites, but quality is hard to come by this morning.
Number one, we got to start somewhere.
Over in Possum Creek, Goodwill Pro and local favorite Wesley Strader knows exactly the kind of bottom he's looking for.
2 ditches runs through this flat in this grass, and you gotta stay close to that ditch. If you don't stay close to the ditch, it seems like you don't get many bites. And a lot of people came in here and fished around and left, but if you get in just the little key areas in here, sometimes it's lost. Just gotta catch one roaming up on the flat. There he is, net. That feels good. I don't know if he'll make it or not, but he'll be close. Oh yeah, he'll make it. Trailer hook on the top of the lip.
Rapala Pro Tom Mann Jr., who started the day in 7th place, he's had a productive morning fishing a grass bed near the nuclear power plant. He's focused on how the bass are transitioning back into the creeks.
Right now I'm sitting 19 foot of water and with just a half calf, I can throw to the edge of the hard grass line right there. But all of these fish are not up there. They're down about 10 to 12 feet deep, where the grass just starts to scatter. And it's, they're just little clumps start. That's where all of my bites have come. Tons of bait here. There's a channel right here that goes all in the back of this pocket. And it's the time of year the shad should start moving back. Coming off the river, the bass are gonna come in here with them. So I think they're just now starting to trickle in here. I got one this morning, I don't know, he's somewhere between 4 and 5. That a dang chunk or what? That's a Chickamauga chunk. I think it's a 5. I think he'll weigh close to 5. Pretty fish.
Oh, there he is, net.
That's 2 I've caught from like that deep of water.
When we return, the anglers bring their best 5 to the scales, and we'll find out who's made it to day 4. Stay tuned.
17 pounds, 6 ounces.
FLW Outdoors is brought to you by Chevy. Every model is backed by a 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Yamaha. Reliability starts here. National Guard. Always ready, always there. Castrol. Maximum sludge protection for maximum performance. Lowrance and the HDS high-definition system with structure scan add-on option. And by Cabela's, the world's foremost outfitter of hunting, fishing, and outdoor gear.
That's a Chickamauga chunk.
Welcome back to the 4th and final stop of the FLW Series Eastern Division, presented by the National Guard. It's day 3 on Lake Chickamauga, and only 5 anglers will move on to fish the final day of the tournament. The man everyone is chasing is Ranger Pro Mark Rose, who's out on the main river ledges. He's already landed 5 keepers, but lost some key bites.
Today, a 4-pounder and a 3-pounder came off, so I had my opportunities. And I haven't lost one yet, so you're thankful for the ones you've caught, but then when you see those come off, you're a little bummed out about that, but I'm not worried about it. I got 5, so. See those arches on my screen right there? And throwing a spoon to those, you can usually catch them. You can see my bait going down. See that fish underneath it? When I say they're not biting, that's what tells me right there. Because if we had some current and those fish were aggressive, that fish would bite.
With the surface water temperature at 85 degrees, current is becoming the dominant factor in catching fish anywhere on the lake for the vast majority of the field. For a local like Strader, the lack of current is actually an advantage.
Everything's going to change tomorrow because they probably won't run any current at all, more than likely. And when that happens, a lot of those guys that's out there on those ledges, they don't bite, and that's when that's the little secret I got up my sleeve. So there's things you do when they don't run current here, and I'll let you know about that Saturday if I make it Saturday.
I still got one little area of grass that I hadn't even been in. We may go in there today. It's a long, long run up the river. Oh, that's a big one. I got him hooked good. How about that bite? That was a lacious bite. I mean, a lacious bite. That's 2 I've caught from like that deep of water.
Over in a little deeper water, Tom Mann Jr. is still methodically working over his grass beds with a single-mindedness that speaks volumes about his confidence in this area.
If it's grass and it's on the Tennessee River, you better be fishing around some grass, I can just tell you. When I came here, that's the first thing that I did is I said, you know, hey, I'm on Tennessee River and I got grass, that's where I'm gonna fish. And you know, that's what we have here. And it flattens out and the grass starts scattering, coming out further and further and further away from the hard line, and that's where those fish have been setting up, right on these outside clumps.
I'm gonna have to catch two key bites, you know, I think to advance, so I'm not panicking though, you know what I mean? There he is, Ned. I'll make it. Oh, that don't make the old trip. My boy Cone pulls up and I catch one. Whoa, 15 to quarter. Let your light shine.
Time to weigh him in as anglers return to Chester Frost Park, located just outside beautiful Chattanooga, Tennessee. Also time to crown our co-angler champion, who caught almost 30 pounds over 3 days. Congratulations to Patrick Roy from Syracuse, New York, on his win.
Afraid I come up a little short today.
I wound up catching about 10 keepers, I guess, got cold.
12 pounds, 4 ounces. Your new tournament leader, JT Kinney, with 33 pounds, 13 ounces. Give him a big round of applause.
A nervous Mark Rose watches as the weights go up, wondering if his bag will be enough to keep him in the top 5.
If I make the cut, I'm gonna go out tomorrow and do the same thing. I feel good about what I'm doing. I've been able to trigger one school that I've been able to catch them pretty good on. But if I don't get that school triggered, I can have a bad day.
12 pounds, 15 ounces, 12-15, puts him at 45.7. Again, he's your tournament leader.
Anglers are also sticking close to see how they finished for the season, with the top 10 in points receiving a bid to the 2011 Forest Wood Cup. Local pro Raji Brown is just hoping to make the cut and fish on the
Leslie Strader from Spring City, Tennessee. Give him a round of applause.
He's getting knocked out right here.
15 pounds, 9 ounces, picking in second place. Leslie Strader with 41.3.
Hey, Dad, what's up? I'm ready to go tomorrow. I mean, I got 3 or 4 key stretches of bank, and it all depends on how much water they move. If they don't move no water tomorrow, I'm gonna abandon ship and start fishing in the creeks more, because that's generally what you do here. When they don't pull no water, you got to get off the main river, get back in the creeks, and just kind of, you ain't gonna catch as much in the creeks, but you can still catch them pretty decent.
Tom Mann Jr. stayed out of the creeks and out of the main river channel, working the transition zone in between that was rich with grass and produced some high-quality results.
17 pounds, 6 ounces, all the way to second place. Tom Mann Jr., the Rapala Pro.
Mann had the heaviest bag of the day and jumped up 5 places, moving him from 7th to 2nd, right behind Mark Rose. Ranger Pro Peter T. also had a good day out on the water, weighing over 13 pounds to bump Tamiki Pro Brian Thrift out of the top 5.
13 pounds, 6 ounces, 13.6, all the way to the 3rd place. Peter T. with 38.13.
I've got a lot of ground to make up, but I think I'm on the right kind of fish to be able to win this thing if I get the right bites tomorrow and put them in the boat.
At the end of cut day, Mark Rose has let his lead slip a little, possibly leaving the door open, as any of our top 5 could turn it on tomorrow.
You ready to try to get it done? Let's go see what happens.
When we return, we'll find out who has made the right decisions on the final day of competition out on Lake Chickamauga.
Booyah.
Welcome back, everyone, to the FLW Series National Guard Eastern Division. Lake Chickamauga certainly has been a test for our entire field of anglers this week. The edges of the grass beds are enticing, promising that big bite, while the offshore ledges can hold larger schools, offering steady supplies of fish for the right pro. We're down to our final 5 on this last day of competition, and one common trait among all of them is the ability to make the right decision.
I know I'm in the right area. I know I'm on the right kind of fish to win this tournament, really to just walk away with it. And it's just a matter of getting these fish on and putting them in the boat. Before it's all over, I'm going to catch a big one.
No one doubts that longtime Ranger pro Peter T can catch a big one. This former Angler of the Year from North Florida doesn't have the word quit in his vocabulary and believes his area can produce the quantity and quality to propel him to the lead.
It's going to be a matter of not so much, you know, me catching them as the other guys not catching them.
You know, I hadn't done any good until like 9:30 or 10 every day. So every morning I've been trying different stuff. I caught a few yesterday morning, nothing real big. So, you know, I'm gonna start somewhere different again today. May even start on a totally different pattern, just see what happens.
Andy Montgomery is making his second consecutive top 5 cut on the Eastern Series. And perhaps more than any other angler fishing today, he has enough confidence in his decision-making to take a risk in an effort to win it all.
I'm in 4th. I really ain't got but one place to go, and that's up. So.
My goal is to win again, and what a better place to do it than right here at your house. I'm not satisfied with just making the top 5. I got a little bit of a mountain to climb, but maybe somebody's little pick and shovel will stumble on them today and mine will come through. So just see what the day holds, how it unfolds.
Goodwill pro Wesley Strader is full of energy and optimism every day he's out on the water. Making the cut and a chance to win on his home lake has cranked that energy level up to 11.
Yeah! Shine down on me, baby.
Catching most of my fish out of grass. I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm catching them on a worm, which is not unusual, but I'm fishing really deep grass, the deepest hydrilla that I can find.
After a heartbreaking slip-up at Lake Lanier, missing the cut at the Forestwood Cup this year, Tom Mann Jr. is out for redemption. He's hoping to repeat his stellar Day 3 weight of 17 pounds and take home the grand prize.
Mark's got a little over a 2-pound lead on me, so I'm going to have to, you know, I know catch a good string, 15 plus probably to beat him, so.
I'm in the position that, you know, you want to be in on the final day, but it seems like I got a pack of hungry wolves coming up behind me.
Mark Rose knows how to win on the Tennessee River. In fact, he's won twice before fishing the deep ledges down on Pickwick Lake. His ability to locate schools and then adjust to minor fluctuations makes him the stick to beat on this final day.
Boy, my target weight for today is 15 pounds. I feel like if I could catch 15 pounds, I'd have to try to make the guys behind me catch more than anybody's caught all week.
The blue sky conditions today are not going to be conducive to high weights, and so it would be very understandable to feel a little nervous going out this morning.
Used to get nervous 20 years ago, but not anymore. It's all fun now.
Ready to try to get it done.
Let's go see what happens. The whole key to here is like when they're not pulling water, like this morning they're not pulling that much water, you want to be off that channel. I mean, you can still catch them out there, but they don't bite near as good as they do when they got the water going. There you go, that's a good one. I think that's a good one. Damn, baby. Oh. Oh. Booyah! Shut up, funny man, and make me a bicycle. Booyah.
Well, we got a little bit of wind anyway, no current, but that wind, little wind current would help today.
Mark Rose is right back to his key area this morning, moving off the main ledge onto humps along the channel swing. He's starting out by throwing a jig.
We got a bite anyway. That was almost a mistake. See if this little guy measures. Fish number one.
You know, it's going to take a 20-pound stringer for me to catch up at all. What we want to do today is catch the ones that you don't have to measure. Just go straight to the live well with them. There's a little fish. He's one of those that you've got to measure just to see if he's going to keep or not.
Peter T got all his bites on day 3 swimming a worm, and he's back at it today. He just needs to trigger a larger bite if he's going to move up in the standings.
A 15.25-inch fish. That's always a good thing.
It takes me catching 1 or 2 on a jig to get them fired up.
The morning action is heating up when we continue our coverage from Lake Chickamauga right here on FLW Outdoors. Don't go away.
Liked it a lot.
Welcome back to the 4th and final stop of the FLW Series Eastern Division, presented by the National Guard. We're on Lake Chickamauga in Tennessee, where 5 of the best sticks in the country are slugging it out. The morning has seen plenty of small fish brought in, and that has led Evinrude Pro Andy Montgomery to make a move.
Well, I made it in and my E-Tech's still attached. Hopefully we can catch some and make it out, and my E-Tech will still be attached.
Rapala Pro Tom Mann Jr. hasn't landed a keeper yet. He's fishing a grass bed off the main channel near the power plant. Yesterday, he caught his big fish just off the hard grass line.
That a dang chunk or what? That's a Chickamauga chunk. There is some deep scattered hydrilla out here that's in about 10 to 14 feet of water. And that's where those bass are. That's where your better fish are. If I catch one up there close to the grass, it's usually a little 10 or 12 incher. I'm trying to get my worm way out here on that very outside scattered stuff and just sit there and get on a piece of it, kind of shake it, and that's usually when I get my bite. You just have to kind of know when to set the hook, like a little brim. Some of them are real aggressive and they'll go ahead and get it, but I've just been in this area messing with these fish all week, so I kind of know when to set the hook and when not to. All right, got number 1.
This morning I decided to go way back in the back of a creek. Hadn't been in there all week since the second day of practice. There's absolutely no flow in the water this morning, which is not good. I'm way in the back. Had to run over a pretty shallow flat to get in here. Little places like this, you need current really, because current positions them a lot better. When there's no current, they just have a tendency to roam around and a lot harder to catch. There you go. Number 1. Usually what happens when you least expect a bite, you get a bite. 4 more.
That was a bass right there. 4 and 5 and 6 is in here. Caught a 6 in here in pre-practice and I never came back. I didn't even come back and fish it during practice. I knew I was gonna fish in here. You know, this morning I started off in Possum Creek, done some things that a lot of people don't normally do here. And that's just my style of fishing, just going places where a lot of people don't go. Yesterday, for some reason, they got on that white one. I think that's one of the whole keys to it, that zoom speed crawl. I mean, it just, them little old legs just kick and dance when it's coming through there. And now that I got bit on the white one, I think I'll throw it a little while.
Our anglers are showing that you need to have skills with a variety of baits on Lake Chickamauga. While Wesley Strader throws a chatterbait shallow, Mark Rose is working the ledge with the spoon.
I'll tell you what I did last night. I rigged up a smaller spoon because I worked on these fish pretty hard yesterday. I rigged up spoon just like I'm throwing, but smaller, just for a situation like this. You know, I've been catching them all on a spoon, but it usually takes me catching 1 or 2 on a jig to get them fired up. And they're all on the bottom, sitting on the bottom in the morning. It works the same as the big fluttering spoon, but it's just a smaller profile. And I've had a couple busted this morning, and a lot of times it could be just because, again, we've beat up on them a little bit, and they could just be tired of that bigger spoon. It's a big old log there underneath the water, and what I done was I've been throwing that green Phoenix chatterblade and a green pumpkin, and I was getting a lot of bumps on it. It was bumping it and it wasn't eating it, so I decided to make a little switch to a white one with a white zoom speed crawl on it, and there's another one right there. Another good one. Come on, babe. They liking the whitey this morning, boys. They like a whitey this morning. Dude, that is a chunk. See what a zoom speed crawl and chatterblade will get you? He liked it. He liked it a lot.
Mark Rose is giving up on the spoon. He hasn't been able to trigger the school of fish that has been his bread and butter this whole tournament, and he's losing confidence in his crankbait as well.
These fish want to feed on the bottom today. A jig's going to be our deal, I think, if we're going to catch them. Oh, right when I say that, I catch one on a crankbait. There's one active school on this spot, and I'm just trying to find it right now. Thank you, Lord. Oh yeah, fish number 2.
If I don't get a bite, I'm gonna crank up and go.
Almost like somebody fished in here in the tournament.
Got a pretty good west wind coming out of here, so it could be good back here this morning.
Conditions are tough, and it's time to move. The nerves are setting in here at Lake Chickamauga.
It's hard to get excited about 4 that are just barely, you know, and they're like hot dogs.
Welcome back to FLW Outdoors and final day action here on Lake Chickamauga at the final event of the National Guard Eastern Division season. One of the most important milestones for a professional angler's career, and really the goal of any pro at the beginning of the season, is to qualify for the Forest Wood Cup. The top 10 pros in the point standings at the end of the 2010 Eastern Series automatically qualify for a berth in the 2011 Forest Wood Cup, and only one angler can finish as the Eastern Series Angler of the Year.
Well, my chances of getting Angler of the Year, I don't know. I mean, I've been so close so many times before on the tour, on the series, and the strands. Been leading going into the last tournament and not get it. It'd just be really nice to get one done.
JT Kinney has been at the top of his game all season long, with his best finish coming at Lake Eufaula, where he finished 5th. But just ahead of him by 5 points in the standings is rookie pro John Cox. After his second place showing at Okeechobee, Cox proved he's a fast learner.
Oh, I learned so much this year. I mean, I just got graphs for the first time when we were on the way to Champlain and was figuring out how to work them and how to drop down and catch them. And, you know, winning the points would mean a lot because this is probably the last year I'll be able to fish at this level because the entry fees are going back up. So, you know, it would mean everything to win the points. So, just in case I don't get a chance to do it again.
It came down to 3 anglers in contention for the Eastern Series Angler of the Year. The man who holds that title on the tour, Brian Thrift, came up a little short.
I needed to catch a little more yesterday.
At the end of day 3 on Chickamauga, JT finished in 16th place, 2 places ahead of John Cox, but 3 points behind him for the year.
John Cox, your 2010 FLW Series Eastern Division Angler of the Year. Take the time, hold it up high, John. What a season.
Quite the accomplishment for John Cox, and truly a season to remember for this young man from DeBary, Florida.
This is a gamble. This is what you gotta do when you get here. You gotta gamble a little bit. People would say I'm crazy coming in here, but you never know. I'd stayed away from that area all week. I avoided it like the plague and thought maybe if I could make this final day, I could go in there and get me 1 to 2 real good bites on the frog and those lily pads. And oh. Did you see that one? That was a big one. Yep. God dang it! Things have made a quick turn south.
For Tom Mann Jr., he's staying in the only place he's confident in, this scattered grass.
It was just a tough day, you know. It was a bright, sunny day. They didn't pull any water. Kind of dirtied my water up that I'd been fishing, so.
Mann has picked over this area pretty thoroughly, and the Rapala Pro is only able to land a small keeper. The quality bites from yesterday are just not there.
Four, small one. Let's see the keeper.
I'm fishing crankbaits that run about 17, 18 foot. They don't seem to be wanting the spoon. Well, what it was is I've been catching them on the spoon up on the flat. There's a little indention in it, and they're right in the kind of the side of the little flat. It makes a little rounding corner. There's some stumps right there, and today I caught them off of those stumps. I'm just blown away. Usually, ledge fishing like this, if you really get in them, you're going to catch a 5-pounder, 4-pounder. You know, I haven't even come close to that.
Lake Chickamauga in the fall is proving to be a tough lake, and Wesley Strader thinks the reason is simple.
I think it's got the, you know, weather changed just a little bit, and we ain't got much wind at all, and not a whole lot of current, so, you know, it's not good for the river. But, you know, they go through spurts where they bite and they don't bite. Like that one just knocked the crap out of it. There he is. Big keeper. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah! It ain't over till I say it's over. That was a good little change, you know. That's a good one there. It's a good fat river fish. What I've done is I've been throwing that chatterbait, and I've had a couple bites here in the last little bit with it that they just, you know, hit it, didn't really open their mouth. I guess they didn't open their mouth and get it, so. Put 2 and 2 together, and I thought, well, I'd rather have something that's got treble hooks on where I can get at least get a snag shot at him, so. And it worked then. Let's just hope it works one more time.
That helped.
Time is running out on the final day. Will Tom Mann or Wesley Strader make a move past our leader?
Look at that son of a gun. Look how fat he is. Will he even make 15 inches?
FLW Outdoors is brought to you by Ranger, still building legends one at a time. Evinrude E-Tech, with 3 years, no maintenance, spend more time on the water. Folgers, the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. Goodwill, donate to Goodwill for your community and the environment. Visit donate.goodwill.org for a donation center near you. U.S. Bank, proud sponsor of FLW Outdoors. And by Chevy. Every model is backed by a 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
But I have to believe it's the same way everywhere right now. I don't care where you're fishing, it's going to be tough.
They've been pulling water. They ain't pulling no water right now, so that makes it pretty tough.
My goal is to win again, and what a better place to do it than right here at your house.
I've caught more fish today than I've caught any of the other days. I just can't catch a quality fish.
All you can do on that final day is just go out and do your best, and that's what we're going to do today.
Time is of the essence as the final hours of the tournament roll by. Tom Mann Jr. has slipped to third place and has finally abandoned his main area.
I left my primary area that I'd caught my fish in all week and ran to another grass flat that I really hadn't fished. I know the grass was there. I looked at it in practice and I knew it was good grass and the right kind of depth. So it's a good one. That helped. That one's gonna help a little bit. Got a 2.5 pounder. Get the cull one.
Like Tom Mann Jr., Andy Montgomery has made a move to a shallow creek in an effort to flip his way to a better position.
There's number 3. I was supposed to about no water running and got me a bite.
The advantage for Wesley Strader of being a local is knowing what bait to use in every situation or condition on this Tennessee River impoundment.
Here during this tournament, they had been on these crawfish really good. They were green pumpkin with a little bit of, just a touch of blue and a little bit of orange in them. That's why I got this chatterbait on. It's green pumpkin. It's got a green pumpkin blue speed crawl on it. It just gives it that little bit of blue flash, you know, as it's coming through the water. There he is. That's a good one. Get in here. Oh, I about bumfoozled. Look at that son of a gun. Look how fat he is. Will he even make 15 inches? So I was just handing him out, see the little blue sparkles in the crawl. That's what they've been eating, is a crawfish with a little bit of blue in it. Let's hope he may. I know he does, but what a fatty. Look at that thing. Looks like one of them Champlain bass. That would be so awful if I didn't make 15 inches. Never give up. I mean, I might not win, but I know I'm not coming in last.
Out on the main river, our tournament leader Mark Rose has been steady and confident, and that comes from his comfort level with the Tennessee River.
You know, a few years ago, I just started getting offshore and really learning how to fish the mussel beds and ledges and things like that. Kentucky Lake, Gunnersville, mostly Pickwick. I just put a lot of work in, a lot of time in. Got one. I don't know what this is. Foul hooked him. Boy, I hope he keeps, because he's thick. Awful short, though. Five, baby. Now, if we can cull some of them, we got a shot.
How about that? That's what you call your lucky bite. They say you can't beat luck. That's fine. It all pays the same to me.
Andy Montgomery calls it luck, and he's going to need one or two more to try and win this one. Goodwill pro Wesley Strader is looking for a lucky bite to come his way, and we'll find out if he gets it when we return.
Wrong time. I knew it was going to be tough.
I never had a good bite all day.
Found 3 schools of fish, and, you know, we did the best that we could. I'd had a better stringer today than I had yesterday if I'd have got that big one. Let's go. Take my chances.
Welcome back to FLW Outdoors and the final event of the FLW Series Eastern Division presented by the National Guard. It's all over out on the water as the anglers move to the stage at Chester Frost Park just outside Chattanooga, Tennessee. Here's where we started the day as Mark Rose went out this morning with a 3-pound lead over Tom Mann Jr.
There's a limit every day. We need 6 pounds, 11 ounces to take the lead from Mark Rose.
First up is Peter T., who stayed in one area all day and caught plenty of fish, upgrading throughout the day to a sizable limit.
And do we have number 5? We do. Today's weight, 12 pounds, 4 ounces. Give him a big round of applause, 51 pounds, 1 ounce.
Andy Montgomery steps up to the stage carrying his 5 best with him, all caught flipping into matted grass.
Andy, you need 10 pounds, 3 ounces to take the lead from Peter T. Today's weight, 11 pounds, 10 ounces, puts him at 52.9, your new tournament leader. Great job.
Right behind Andy comes local favorite Wesley Strader. The Goodwill Pro put on a clinic on how to change up baits and locations to catch bass here in the early fall.
Looking for a 5 bass limit. Wow. Andy, this thing's going to get interesting real quick. Wesley, you need 11 pounds, 7 ounces to take the lead. Today's weight, 13 pounds, 3 ounces. Your new tournament leader, 54 pounds, 6 ounces.
With a solid limit, Wesley grabs the lead. Now he and the crowd of fans and family are hoping he can hang on for a win. He'll have to get past Tom Mann Jr., who spent most of the day on his main honey hole, landing a small limit before making a move to catch a nice upgrade at the end of the day.
I've caught more fish today than I've caught any of the other days. I've been catching these little ones along, and all of a sudden one of them big ones will get it.
Tom Mann Jr. had his largest catch, 17 pounds, 6 ounces on day 3.
Tom isn't going to go away quietly. He's got 5 good fish in his bag. Will he knock out Wesley Strader's hopes for victory?
He has 42 pounds, 8 ounces coming into the final day. Has a hot seat. Does he have number 5? He does. We need 11 pounds, 15 ounces to take the lead. It's going to be close. Today's weight, 11 pounds, 12 ounces, puts him at 54.2.
Tom falls short by 2 ounces, and Team Strader holds on for one last challenger, tournament leader Mark Rose. The man from Arkansas who loves fishing Tennessee River ledges spent every day using a combination of spoons, crankbaits, and jigs to pull in over 45 pounds of bass over the first 3 days of the tournament. But did he stumble just a little today and leave the door open for Strader?
We're going to start with number 1. Day 1, he had 16 pounds, 7 ounces. That's number 2. On day 2, he had 16 pounds, 1 ounce. Does he have number 3? Wesley, are you nervous?
If I come in second, that'll make 6 times, so somebody's telling me I don't need to win.
Somebody has a big smirk on their face right there. Mark, you need 9 pounds to take the lead. Wow. Today's weight, 11 pounds, 8 ounces. Your new champion, Mark Rose.
How impressive a victory for Mark Rose. He took control of this tournament on the 2nd day and never let up.
I felt really good about having a good, consistent tournament once I found that first big school of fish. Then when I found my second one a couple of days later, that just assured me that I was going to have some consistency this week, which is what you need in a 3 or 4 day tournament. I felt like I had enough to last, really. I had enough fish in those schools to last me 4 days. And so that was after the day 1 weigh-in, when I was like in second, I knew I had a shot.
And so the Eastern Series ends, and the anglers move to thoughts of next season. You don't have to wait until next year to see the best in tournament fishing action. Just tune in to FLW Outdoors every week or visit FLWOutdoors.com. Thanks for watching.